Welcome back to Evil Month, everyone. If you're new here, welcome, and welcome to what I'm calling Evil Month. I highly recommend you go through all of my other Evil Month videos this far because it's going to make a lot more sense what we're doing here if you start at the beginning. And I explain it a lot better at the beginning. I don't want to repeat it in every single episode, but the moral of the story, what we're doing here is breaking down each of the 7 deadly sins and what we can learn from each of these 7 deadly sins as evil is out to get us. So we're trying to figure out how we can kind of catch the thief before the thief gets us and, hop onto their motives before it takes us out. But also, how can we use these things that are meant to hurt us and harm us into our own benefit and actually empower and fuel us rather than take us out. Because we like to recycle around here. I do have my own environmental platform, if you don't know. So, welcome back if you're already one of my loyal stans. Thank you for being loyal if you are. Okay, today's topic is wrath. So, today's topic is basically how to turn anger into ambition. I love this. I love this so much. Okay. Or channel your fury into fuel is another mantra. So in the entertainment world, it is very easy to feel very angry over rejection or missed opportunities or even at the competition that we face. The people, the competition itself, the judges, the way that the rules are in place, right? It's very easy to get very angry at a lot of the things at stake, right? But instead of letting wrath control you, we're going to learn how can we control wrath itself and use it to ignite our ambition. Anger can be very destructive, but it's also incredibly powerful. What if instead of letting it burn you out, what if you use that fire to light the path of your dreams? Let's explore how we can transform wrath into a force of success. Now, one quote that I want to say is, "May the bridges I burn light the way." I love this. May the bridges I burn light the way. Because if you think about it, not every bridge burned is a consequence. Every bridge burned can simply be a closed door. And may all of the closed doors open the right one, right? May all of the bridges burned light the way. Another thing that I wanted to say is that I don't think that there has been anything in my life that I have ever achieved without it being fueled by revenge, which is on some level sad and not really great, but at the same time, I'm like, I have no motivation to go out and do anything in my life if I do not have something fueling it. Because if I'm just content, what's the point of going after success? Which makes you kind of question, why do I go after success at all if I can just be content? What's the point of success if success doesn't even lead to being happy or contentment? Like, if I can just be content and happy without success, what's the point of success? But, with success comes the freedom that you look for, so there's that. But I digress. That's a whole nother topic. I say this to say that there is truly power and force in using anger to fuel you. And boy, oh boy, does it work. It works, let me tell you. And personally, there is nothing greater than my own feeling that I get knowing all of the people who told me that would never happen, and then I can look at that and say, I did it. And, it's a big slap in the face to whoever said that I couldn't do it. And that makes me really happy. Truly, it does. Because it makes me realize how capable I am. Because if I just did said thing without anybody telling me that I couldn't do it, and I just did it on my own, and I never questioned if I could ever do it because nobody was telling me that I couldn't, then where's the success in that, right? Where is the joy in knowing all of the battles that I faced? It's like running a marathon, but you're the only one running it. What's the point of running a competition if there is no competition just so you can say you did it yourself? Like, obviously that's impressive, but it's a lot more impressive when you win against people. As entertainers, we are, as much as we try to work on this, believe me, I know we do, we are cold-blooded in the sense that we live for needing that validation, that approval, that acceptance. And we're like a snake being told that we can't live in the outdoors when we face that rejection because we're not qualified. Our rattle starts shaking to try and show the judges just who we are and what we're capable of. But the truth is, wrath does not give you power, it actually takes it away. All that being said, competition is stressful and it leads to burnout. With wrath, when uncontrolled, can quickly lead to burnout. In the entertainment industry especially, where rejection, the competition are all part of the journey, it's easy to feel really angry really easily. And maybe you've been passed over by somebody, I hate to say it, better than you at that particular time, or at least that's how the judges saw it, for a certain role, right? Or you're criticized unfairly, or you faced setbacks that seem insurmountable. The problem isn't necessarily the emotion of anger that comes with that. It's when you let it consume you, when you let it hold you back. Because wrath can cloud your judgment and make you lash out. And if you lash out, the reaction that you have from lashing out can cause major setbacks. Have you seen that movie? What's it called? Southpaw? It's that wrestling movie. Boxing? I don't know the difference off the top of my head. When this guy, loses a match, right? And then he just completely throws away his entire life. Or I don't know if he lost a match, but he lost his wife. I'm clouding the details. But the point is, he loses one particular thing and then just throws out the rest of his life with it instead of getting back on track. That's when wrath is a problem. When you don't use it as a steam, but you use it to basically decrease your own self-esteem. There's a difference between esteem and self-esteem, right? You need to use it for esteem. Let the steam come out of the top of that choo-choo train and move up the mountain because you think you can, okay? It can also it can make you lash out, and it can also cause you to just give up entirely. Because you can just get so frustrated and just give up. And it can burn bridges and create enemies. Wrath can create enemies that you did not have before because nobody wants to be around somebody who is very not pleasant to be around, right? Or the reaction that you have to things might leave a really bad impact on your professionalism, on maybe depending on how you react. I mean, it could have a lot of really negative consequences. leaving you exhausted and further from your goals. Think about the last time you felt really intense anger, like really just boiling through your skin intense anger. Did it help you or did it move you forward? Or did it leave you feeling stuck and frustrated? Did it leave you throwing your best friend's belongings off of your balcony? Did it leave you getting into a car accident? Did it leave you just writing out in your notes? Did it leave you booking an appointment with your therapist? I want you to write down, where did that get you? Where did that get you? Really think about it. Wrath, when unchecked, can become a destructive force. It not only distracts you from your goals, but it also alienates the people who could help you achieve them. This is true. This is very true. When you're angry, it's easy to lose focus. And instead of working towards your dream gigs, you end up fixating on the unfairness or obstacles in your path, which is exactly what wrath in and of itself wants, right? This is exactly what wrath wants of you. To keep you consumed, burning away your potential instead of building your future. Burning away your potential instead of building your future. Think of a house. What if you are a house and wrath is the fire and it's just your house is on fire, burning away all of the potential instead of the future that could come from that house and the memories that could come from that house. Sorry, that is so morbid, but it's true. So why do we let wrath take over? Why does wrath feel so overwhelming when things don't go our way? It's because it's a natural response to feeling powerless. I have a control issue myself, so I understand this firsthand. When somebody else gets the gig that you worked really hard for and that you so deeply wanted, or when you're rejected or overlooked, not seen, not heard, and again, we've talked about this as an entertainers, this is one of our Achilles heels, right? Being overseen, being overlooked, that is something that could so easily trigger that wrath right there. It feels like you've lost control and the anger steps in as a way to regain that control, to take back the narrative. But here's the truth. Wrath doesn't actually give you more power. If anything, it actually takes it away from you. If you think about it, the strongest person, the person who has the most control in any situation, especially if you look at like Disney movies, for an example, the queen, the evil queen, she might be angry, but is she the one lashing out and just being, I'm trying to think of an example. She speaks very quietly, right? She's not the one who's just throwing things, being all dramatic and chaotic, and yeah, chaotic is the word I'm trying to think of. She's not probably throwing things off the balcony. She's not the one, she might be doing really evil things, but it's controlled. She's not chaotic, she's controlled. She speaks quietly and slowly and surely. She's not saying a bunch of things that she doesn't mean, right? She is focused. Success in the entertainment industry isn't about who's the angriest. It's about who can stay the most focused and persistent when things don't go their way. This is true. So instead of letting wrath consume you, let's turn that fire into something productive, like an unstoppable drive to succeed. And here's how you can turn that wrath into fuel for your career. Acknowledge the anger when it arises. Acknowledge the anger when it arises. Don't suppress it because it's only going to boil back up. And don't let it control you either. Acknowledge it as a signal that something needs to change. Ask yourself, ask yourself, what am I really angry about? When you boil it down, what does it come down to? Is it the rejection itself? Is it the delay? Is it a deeper fear of failure? Channel your fury. Use the energy from your anger to push forward and not pull back. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, focus on what you can do next. Let your wrath motivate you to practice harder, to network more, or seek new opportunities. Turn setbacks into strength. Every time you face rejection or an obstacle, instead of facing it with wrath, see it as an opportunity to learn. How can you turn this setback into a stepping stone for future success? Use anger as a tool for focus. Anger can be distracting, but if channeled correctly, it can also bring intense focus. Use that fire to fuel your ambition and fuel your focus on what truly matters. Your goals and the steps needed to reach them. So this week, instead of letting wrath destroy your progress, let it fuel you. Every time you feel anger arise, use it as a reminder to push harder. Focus more and refuse to give up. Wrath can either burn you out or light the path to your success. The choice is entirely yours. And I want to encourage you to take that wrath and use it to fuel you, and don't procrastinate on it, because the next thing we're going to talk about is sloth, and we're going to be talking a lot about not slothing. So start now. Get that motivation going so that you will already be motivated and on the move before we get to this next episode, and it won't be as hard to overcome when we get to that episode. In the meantime, follow me on almost any social media platform at Make Waves Coach, and also at Mermaid Kassandra. Also check out my podcast, Make Waves Mermaid Kassandra, available every place podcasts are found. Also check out my book, should be in the link in the description below, available for purchase. I will talk to you guys soon. Go out there and make waves. Mwah.